Okay, good day. I welcome each and every one of us once more to the second lesson in this series of Microsoft Excel Made Simple. Our last lesson, we are exposed to the environment of Microsoft Excel and how we can navigate around it. Today, we'll be moving deeper by looking at how to carry out some arithmetic functions using Microsoft Excel. So, what are we going to look at today? We are going to see how we can carry out arithmetic functions such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, sum, average, minimum, maximum, percentage, and other functions that we are going to learn how to use. These are relevant in our day-to-day data manipulation or data processing that we have to do using Microsoft Excel. So to do this, you will need to download the exercise file. We'll be making use of the exercise file 1. You will find the file attached to this tutorial, download it, open it, and follow along as we will be carrying out this practice. So let's open the file. This is it, exercise 1, state data. This is it. We are making use of state data to carry out this Excel manipulation and functions as we are going to see. So let's go to our exercise. What is expected of us? 1. Sum of gender in each state. Let's look at our table. This is our data. These are the states A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So we have to carry out the sum of data in each state. So we are summing up state A, B, state A, B, and so on. Do this different ways. The easiest way we say our equal to. Since we are dealing with two variables, we pick the first variable, our plus sign, and we select the second variable. That gives us the sum of value in state A. In another method, we select our first cell, we click and we drag down, which we also select the next one to the next empty cell. We then go to our standard toolbar, we will see this symbol. If we put our mouse on it, we will see it sum. So we click on it, and what do we have? The data have been summed up. So we have a sum of it, or we'll do it like this, either way. Now, once we have sum of series of value and we still want to sum up all other values under it, we don't need to keep typing the formula every time. We move our pointer to the bottom right and our mouse pointer will change to a plus, a tick plus. The name of this plus is called autofill. So with it, we can apply a formula or a function that we have created on other rows that are in the same series that we are processing. So I click on it and then I drag it down. So drag it down and then I stop. So here we have it. All the other states have been summed up. Now we'll notice the cell with 0. The cells are 0 because there are no values beneath them. And of course, as we all know, 0 plus 0 is 0. So that is why those values are 0. So that is the first question, and it is the sum of states. So what is the next function that we have in our exercise? The next function is for us to find average of gender in each state. Average of gender in each state. How do we do that? We go back. We are looking at average, which we can call AVG in abbreviation. How do we get average? We say equal to. Whenever we use the equal to symbol, it initiates formula or function. So it tells Microsoft Excel that the next series of information we are going to input will be a formula or a function that we expect Microsoft Excel to execute. So what function do we want to find? We want to find average. So we spell average. As you are typing, before you finish, you will see different options, but you can continue until you type what you want. And there it is. We have our average. Now, what is the length of data value that I want to use our average on? We open bracket, then we select the first range of value, which is this, to the next range of value. So I use my colon and I select the next range of value, which is this 3. I will close the bracket back and I press my enter. So I now have the average value. And once I have the average value, to apply it easy, as we previously said, just move down to the bottom right, you have your autofill, drag it down, and once you do that, you have already gotten the average for each of those cells. Once more, this is no error. It simply means there is no value in the empty cell. So that's why is bringing us a div no value message. So let's simply remove those so that we have a clean data to work with. So we've gotten our average. What next should we find? The next thing for us to find is difference between genders in state A and D. Difference between genders in state A and B. So difference, of course, is a subtraction of value. So we have A, this is our gender A, and we have gender D. So we have to find the difference between these two. These two. So how do we do that? We come down here, we say equal to, we select the first value and we just subtract from the second value. And that gives us the difference between gender in state A, and gender in state D. So I can still use my autofill to my right to still apply it on female as I did male. And I have my difference in genders A and B simply by subtracting. The next action that we have to do is to determine average of genders in state C, B and C. Average of gender in state B and C. We go back to our data. This is state B and this is state C. We have to find the average of gender. Average of gender. So if you want to know the average for male, so you can just click here and we say equal to, just like we did with our column F, we say spell out our average. We open brackets. So we want to know the average between B and B, comma, C. We close our bracket, press enter. There we have the average between B and C. Let's do that again to make it more easier because it looks a little bit complex. Equal to, we type our average, we open our bracket, open bracket, the first value that we want, that is for state B, female, comma, the second value, we close our bracket and we press enter. So there we have it, the average of gender in state A and B. Having gotten the average, what is the next thing that we are required to do? Now, the next thing we are required to do is to sum of gender in state A and C. Sum of gender in state A and C. We have our state A, we have our state C. Sum of the gender. So we are adding the genders together. So we can come here, we can say sum of G, that's sum of gender. Sum of gender is just similar to what we previously did. So we can just say equal to take our male plus our female. We press enter, we have it. We come to our D, we do likewise equal to our male plus the female. That is the sum of gender. Of course, if we click here, we move down to our bottom right, we can apply the formula that we have used. We come here, we can do the same thing, apply the formula we have used. And the same formula, of course, as we earlier learned, can be applied also across board. And the ones that does not have value will, of course, return zero. It simply means there is no value for the formula to add up. And these are result values, so we don't need those. So we have the answer, the sum of gender. Now, having gotten the sum of gender in A and C, the next exercise is 70% of gender A, B, A, and C. 70% of gender A, B, A, and C. That means we need to sum up gender A, gender B, gender A, B, and gender A, and gender C. Then we'll look for the 70% of those. So let's get right into it. This is our gender A. This is the sum of it. 70% of it, 70% of it is it. We'll come down here, we say equal to, this is the sum, multiplied by, multiplication is our asterisk symbol that we can find on number 8 on most standard keyboard. Now, 70% can be interpreted as 70 divided by 100. That's 70%. We press enter, there we have it. Of course, there are different ways we can interpret percentage depending on how skilled we are using mathematics and Microsoft Excel. Another way around, I can say equal to the sum multiplied by 0.7, that's 70%. I press enter, I have my value. Or we can still move on and say equal to the sum multiplied by 0.7 to 70%. We press enter, we have our value. That is the 70% of the sum of gender in our series of data that we are working on. So guys, those are the simple arithmetic that we can do using Microsoft Excel. And don't forget, you can do the same when you have multiple or large volume of data. The same rule applies across board. So guys, we have done this exercise together. The next thing is for you to go back to lesson 2 and download the assignment data. Download the assignment data, work on it on your own. When you are done, use the link provided to submit the assignments. And I'll be looking forward to review your performance and I will get back to you based on your performance. Hope you have a nice class and hope you have a nice time. I'll be looking forward to seeing you in lesson 3. Have a nice day, guys. See you later.